哎呀，真儿小。
On April 11th and 12th, a powerful windstorm swept through large parts of China, causing widespread disruption and chaos. The extreme weather impacted both northern and southern regions, including Inner Mongolia, Gansu, Hebei, Beijing, Tianjin, and reaching as far south as Jiangnan and South China. storms.
风好大啊，吹飞了凳子，都吹到外面去了。呜呜呜，风大哦！
The storm unleashed fierce winds, sandstorms, hail, and heavy rainfall, causing significant damage to infrastructure, agriculture, and transportation systems. Weather observation stations reported record-breaking wind speeds, while over 3,200 domestic flights were canceled, marking the highest number of flight cancellations in China this year. In provinces like Henan, Beijing, and Tianjin, wind speeds reached, and in some areas exceeded, level 13 on the Beaufort scale. In Inner Mongolia, the powerful gusts uprooted trees and brought down tall walls. In Shijiazhuang, the capital of Hebei, and one of the areas hit hardest, the streets looked like scenes from a disaster film. Vehicles fought against the wind, with some coming to a complete stop. Trash bins tumbled down the roads, and a large archway on a pedestrian street gave way under the force of the gusts. In rural regions, the destruction was even more intense. Countless agricultural greenhouses were torn apart, with plastic sheets and metal structures lifted and scattered by the wind. Farmers faced heavy losses as their means of living were quite literally ripped to shreds. Meanwhile, in urban areas, potted plants, street ornaments, and construction barriers were toppled, leaving debris and trash strewn across the streets. Beijing was also hit by powerful winds surpassing level 10, along with thunderstorms and flashes of lightning. Sandstorms swept through the city, tinting the sky yellow and slashing visibility. The intense gusts shook windows in tall buildings and sent tents and market stalls airborne. In central China, Wuhan was hit by a torrential downpour that swiftly transformed streets into rivers. Several roads in the city center were submerged, leaving cars stranded or floating in the floodwaters. Vehicles on elevated roads were forced to shut off their engines, while others were swept away by the current, resembling drifting arcs. In the rural areas of Hebei, farmland, greenhouses, and roadways took a heavy hit. Hail battered the crops, while powerful winds uprooted trees, resulting in widespread agricultural losses. In southern China, including provinces such as Hunan, Jiangxi, and Guizhou, hailstorms and torrential rainfall struck at the same time. In certain regions, rainfall surpassed 60 millimeters per hour. Falling trees took down power lines, resulting in widespread outages that lasted for hours. Emergency crews labored through the night in hazardous conditions to restore services. In rural regions, hail wiped out vast sections of vegetable farms and fruit orchards, leaving local farmers heartbroken. Meteorologists linked this extreme weather event to the powerful collision of cold and warm air currents, a common feature of the spring season. The warm, moist air created perfect conditions for thunderstorms, hail, and fierce winds to occur simultaneously.
你们看一下后续啊，刚才一个大风直接把这个窗户给拔掉了，来郑州的。
我的天！
这个。
Tropical cyclones, also known as hurricanes and typhoons, are meteorological phenomena that occur over tropical and subtropical oceans experiencing low atmospheric pressure, where water vapor from the warm oceans condenses to produce spiraling cloud formations hundreds of meters wide. The resulting heavy rain and wind speeds exceeding 74 miles per hour can bring devastation to communities in their path when these tropical storms make landfall. Wen Yang of East China Normal University and colleagues focused specifically on the East China Sea, Pacific Ocean to determine how the cycling of oxygen and nutrients is affected when a tropical storm passes through the region. Approximately 46% of tropical cyclones in the East China Sea make landfall along the country's east coastline. This study relies upon the principle of ocean disturbance encouraging the vertical and lateral mixing of ocean waters, meaning deeper layers become better oxygenated and nutrients are supplied to a broader surface area for primary producers to thrive. While the former scenario helps to alleviate oxygen depletion and anoxia with depth, the latter means more oxygen is consumed in metabolic processes for survival and reproduction. Therefore, the research team aimed to identify whether tropical cyclones have a net positive or negative impact on ocean oxygenation. Combining information on tropical cyclone track and speed from previous events with satellite observations of ocean water color to measure chlorophyll concentration, therefore estimating surface phytoplankton productivity and computational simulations, the scientists identified changes in the dissolved oxygen budget.
完蛋了，内涝了。家里公交车了吗？马上就过井了。这车上还有人呢，他也不赶紧跑。这下边的车。车都动上了，我操的！我操的！车都跑了！哎呦，我这天这树都撞倒了！完了，这车都，看看！哎呀，我们这儿进水了！我们小区进水了，往里头，可了不得了！看看，完蛋差了这车，这水，我天哪！得，往我们这儿进水了，可了不得了！完了！
kia cả tần toàn khói vậy là bay cát cái là được kiểu cái kỳ cái đấy cái kỳ cái đấy hay cái chắc kia bay cát được kiểu
明显感觉越来越大，大家都注意安全。应该现在没有人。
喂，玩花都怕被鬧啦，嗰件衫啦。喂，我嗰啲景你梗係要跟咧地門你有冇？即係睇黃鞋趴到啲衫啦。哦。哎呦，怕哦。
别来呀！快啊！快！有一次观众点灯，出事。真没气。
cái này quá bảo á rồi mi đều yên liền xíu chỉ liền tàu 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 ca